Well, I never. It looks like there's no screw in there, and mine, like I told you, it had screws and it looked like the screw was missing. I shine a light in there and the same Allen wrench will fit in there, and I believe that is going to be the screw, and I can't do anything until I loosen up the two little outside Allen screws. Okay, I'm going to undo those. That must be like once I get that middle screw adjusted, then you tighten these up to that, and we're going to see if that works, and I'm pretty sure, well, I'm hoping it's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to loosen up those set screws. Right now, the hinge is not doing anything. I'm just loosening this bit up. Now, there he is. If I set my wrench in there, I should be able to take that and loosen it up. So I'm going to go up to the left. And it felt like it did something. Go to the left some more. And to the left more, and it feels like it's working. See, that kind of got these screws tight. Just hear me out here. Okay. It's like I'm loosening those. So I went a few turns. Now I want to take this middle one, because there's 4 hinges. I'm going to turn that one up a little bit. One more. Okay. Before I do anything to the bottom, let's check out the top, shall we? I'm just as anxious as you to see if this is doing anything. Hopefully I didn't go too far. Look at that. Okay. It's the very opposite of my door at home. Okay. See the gap there now? See how big this gap is there? Look how big the gap is next to the door. And because I adjusted that one, see how big the gap is? Okay, see how big this gap is? Now I can't close the door at all, can I? That's because the door, I've moved those hinges to the left, and that's actually made it sag more. So I want to go the very opposite. This door is the very opposite of the ones that I did at my house. So they are, everything's different. Okay. Now we got to go the very opposite. And that's all it is. It's a trial and error type thing. Okay, so before I was loosening it, now I want to tighten it. Okay. Tighten that down, that middle. It's kind of a slick deal, actually. If your door ever sags, this is what you can do. Fix it. Get your Allen wrench out. Now I can feel it tightening up. This one here, I did it twice just to get it to where it was before, okay? That's where it was before. gotta remember to have these other two set screws loose. Okay. Now I'm gonna tighten this up a little. One potato, maybe a half or 3/4. And I'm gonna hit this one more here. Okay. We gotta remember what we're doing here. Now I'm tightening those, and that should have pulled this gap together. Oh well, you'll see what I see. Okay, I'm not gonna shut it off. Now it's still rubbing, but you see how I've got the gap tighter? See right in there? And that one's tighter now. Okay, but I look at the gap here, and I know I can shove it over to the right a little bit more before I mess with the bottom, because I can tell it's almost doing the same thing as it was before. Okay. So I'm going to tighten the top two. Yeah. I'm not going to adjust it all and then tell you, okay, see, I've done it. I want you to see what I'm going through, because that's what you're going to have to go through. And if I can do it, yes, of course you can do it too. Of course. This top one more little last bit. Okay. I want to get the top ones about where I think they should be before I mess with the bottom two hinges. Okay. Back and forth we go. Where she stops, nobody knows. Because see, no matter what, I might not be able to lift it off the bottom all the way by just adjusting the top two hinges. I'm still going to have to adjust the bottom two hinges to come to the left. Okay, now that I've tightened the top, we're going to see here, we've got about the same gap there. Oh, maybe a little less. You see there? Still got a little ways. I can tighten that. I can tighten that a little bit more. I think that's what I want to do. And see, the gap up here is almost about right, but it's still hitting at the bottom. And so I'm going to tighten. Jeez. Okay. Back and forth. That's all there is to it. Back and forth. Make sure those other set screws, not sure why they have those there, but I guess once you figure out exactly where your other screws here need to be at, then once I have this exactly where I want it, then I can tighten up these other two bigger screws. Glad I looked in there, because I thought the screw was missing. You see, there's still more I can adjust. If that gap was tight, then you know obviously these screws won't go any further. But I've been tightening this a little bit now. I don't know if I want to go much further than that. I think my next go will be the bottom two. You know, we'll do the bottom two next, because it's like those can still go. It's still hitting and everything. But we look up here. Boy, almost looks like I can go a little bit further, huh?